The Matadors love its newest Texas Tech store, offering the official Wreck-'em Tech shirt of the Saddle Tramps. Together, the Matador and the Saddle Tramps are ready to gear you up for Texas Tech football. Buy your Wreck-'em Tech shirt at the Matador for only $15 and feel proud that you are supporting the Saddle Tramps and Texas Tech. Start a new tradition. Stop at the corner and shop the Matador or shop online at shopthematador.com.
Hi, and welcome back to this week's episode of Matador Express. I'm your host, Everett.
And I'm Dawit, Haile.
We got a lot to talk about this week with the Tech football team taking its first loss of the season this past Saturday against Arkansas. And the news coming out yesterday that the defensive coordinator for the Tech football team, Matt Wallerstedt, has resigned from the program. Before we get into that resignation talk and talk about what that means for the football team going forward, let's look back at this last week game. What did you see from the Red Raiders in that loss against Arkansas?
Number one thing, defense. They couldn't do anything to stop Arkansas's run attack. And you would know they would do that over and over again, and they still couldn't figure out anything to slow them down. Plus, I don't want to always pile up on the defense because that's what most people do, but I felt like Davis Webb was very lackadaisical with his decision-making and with his mechanics. He seemed like he was just going through the motions.
Yeah, Davis Webb had that interception they threw right after defense forced their first turnover of the year. It seemed like they had a little momentum going. Throws the ball right into Arkansas's hands like 3 times in a row. They finally pick it off on that last one. Kind of killed the momentum. Maybe Tech could have come back there. What you were talking about with the defense, I saw that some as well. Arkansas only attempted 2 passes the entire second half. Like they knew what they were coming in to do, and they knew that they could run the ball down Tech's throats, and they just executed it very well. Along with that, I mean, now the defense had that poor performance, and now they've lost their defensive coordinator. Matt Wallerstedt resigned yesterday from the Texas Tech program. He cited some personal reasons for that resignation, but nobody's really sure what those are. What do you think this is going to mean for the football program moving forward with Mike Smith now stepping in as defensive coordinator?
Obviously, it doesn't seem like Tech defense is missing out on much with the first 3 performances of the year, but still, you don't want to lose your defensive coordinator in the process of the season. So all you could hope for is that they would improve on assignments and know what they're doing so they can at least stymie offense a little bit. But besides that, I don't know what the defense can expect, really.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I saw some information yesterday saying that maybe the players like Mike Smith a little bit more. He's a Tech grad. He played here at Texas Tech when Wes Welker and Kingsbury were playing here, so now Tech's got their head coach, their offensive coordinator, their defensive coordinator, all graduates of the school. So maybe the players will get a little more hyped up, but Dawit and I were talking, I didn't see like a lack of effort on Saturday, so I don't know if them playing harder is going to make much of a difference if they don't have the talent to stop those heavy run defenses or heavy run offenses like they're going to see even at Okie State this weekend. I mean, I don't know. They're going to take on the Cowboys this Thursday night in Stillwater. It's going to be on ESPN at 6:30. And we'll see if that change in defensive coordinator helps them out at all.
While the Texas Tech football team picked up its first loss of the season, 2 other teams are still undefeated here. It's Tech volleyball and Tech soccer. The volleyball team hosted the Texas Tech Invitational, defeating Incarnate Word, Gardner Webb, and Texas State to move 9-0 on the season.
Yeah, that's the best start for Tech volleyball since 1997. The soccer team also stayed undefeated during the weekend. They won a top 15 battle against the University of California on the road in double overtime with a golden goal by Janine Becky at the end of that game. And then they returned home Sunday for a 2-0 win against Abilene Christian, which is one of their last non-conference games of the year. How long can Tech keep this undefeated streak up?
I really don't see any opponent posing a real big threat to them. Of course, when you go into conference, eventually those teams are going to know Texas Tech more than the non-conference teams they face. But still, all about what will keep them undefeated is themselves, because if they can keep the shutouts coming and if they can still keep the timely goals rolling in, I don't really see any opponent that could stop them in the near future. But watch out for West Virginia in conference play and Baylor too, because Baylor always seems to muddy up the game and make it just a last possession type of deal where whoever gets that goal first wins.
You talk some about the shutouts that Tech's had this year. Talk about the performance of the new goalkeeper replacing Victoria Essen last year. She was a senior. Had been a corner piece of the Tech soccer program. Can you talk about her replacement and how she's fared so far?
Definitely. The goalkeeper to replace one of Tech's best goalkeepers is sophomore goalkeeper Lauren Watson. At first, it seemed like she was kind of feeling her way through it. She would make a few mistakes and goals would get past her, but in the last 4 games, she's recorded 4 consecutive shutouts, and it seems that she's starting to get a good rapport with her defense, and now what she wants to do is learn how to play even more with her defensive back line, so if they get in trouble, they can play it back to her and so on, so that it makes it even more difficult to take the ball from them, and so Tech can sustain possession and keep it away from the other team.
Cool. Yeah, the soccer team is on the road this weekend for their last full weekend of non-conference play in Stillwater as well. That wraps up this week's episode of Matador Express, and we hope to see you again next week.